everybody. Welcome to Urban Rush. It is Monday, September 10th, 2012. It's November 7th, 2011. September 7th, 2012.
July 26th, 2012.
Hello, welcome. Lola Kala here for Shaw TV. Between the two of them, they've had over 30,000 interviews with Hollywood insiders, local and international artists. Their show has won over 10 Leo Awards and other numerous awards for Best Talk Show and Best Talk Show Host. Their on-screen camera is such that we haven't seen on TV in recent years. We love them. It's the dynamic talk show host duo that is Eckford and Forbes. It's the very foxy Fiona Forbes and the very dashing Michael Eckford.
Hello.
Hey
God,
guys.
you're good at things. That's right. Thanks, Lola.
Good to see you.
Well, thank you. It's a bit weird to be like on our set.
the other side.
We have never, I don't think, have you ever sat here and been interviewed?
Not being interviewed in this
Never.
spot.
And that's why we thought it would be great to actually have to come to your house and really, you know, have you both in the spotlight.
Well, thank you, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm blushing.
Well, and part of it, we should probably do a little bit of math. 30,000 is actually, we've done about 15, I would guess, but we've done them together. So if you combine it, sure, but really it's sort of 15,000.
And between the two of us, over 30 years of television.
Precisely.
We're getting old.
And that's the thing, because you guys have been doing this for so long.
Centuries.
But I think congratulations are in order, first of all, because just last week, you guys hit your 3 million views on your YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you.
Isn't that
Thank you.
just amazing? How exciting is that for you to see that, you know, you guys are still connecting with your audience, you know, time and time. They still keep coming back to see you guys after so long.
Thanks. It's you know, the business, we're both fascinated by the business, period, right? So as the business changes, I think part of the fun for us is that, you know, there's a lot of doom and gloom in our industry about, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I really like it. I'm really fascinated by it. I'm interested in it. I'm engaged by it. I like to try and figure it out and understand how people are consuming media. Because I know, personally, I don't watch a lot of linear TV anymore. I don't watch a lot of scheduled.
I do, but that's only because I watch Big Brother, and I'm one of those people.
So do you watch it live though, or do you
Talking about
PVR?
Big Brother, you actually kind of outed me the other day. You know, now, you know.
For those of you who are like me, I watch it. I'm not gonna lie.
There aren't many. Who watches out of all the staff
But
on our show?
whenever people watch Big Brother,
I think
they're
there's one
obsessed
other.
like me, right? No?
There's
no?
one
no
other person.
Lola.
Oh,
Thank
Lola,
you very
Lola
much.
watches it.
There's always one person I can talk to about it.
Here's a
Now,
show.
you know, anything
Are
that was
you the two people that watch Big
anything
Brother?
that was left of
Yes.
my street cred was actually dashed into pieces. But I had to stand for you. You know, I had to, you know, stand
Why
for
do
the.
you watch Big Brother?
There's certain shows I will watch live on television, the Olympics. I've got to get my credibility up
And you
here.
watch Big Brother live.
I watch reality shows live. I have them on in the background for sure.
I
The
think
Bachelor, Bachelor
it
Pad
is.
for sure. I'll admit to
I know,
watching
but
it.
for me, I think the thing about these shows is the fact that, you know, it's kind of like a train wreck.
Yeah.
It's not like there's any good thing about it, but it's one of those train wreck things that you actually can't look away from.
I'm not learning anything. I'm actually getting dumber by watching it.
Precisely.
It's a human train wreck. You've got two people that are in complete opposition that are just basically
I
rammed
know.
together in a glass
And I think
house.
it's that kind of human nature that, you know, we're just voyeurs. You know, we just want to like, okay, let's see how these people are going to really crap it up today.
Well, we have an interesting aspect of that is going to be unveiled as we get deeper into the fall. And it's a new sort of wrinkle to the way that we're doing the show that I think people are going to find very interesting.
Very much. I
We
was gonna
can't talk about it a lot yet,
talk
but
about
it's
that,
going to be
actually.
it's going to be interesting.
Top secret.
Yes,
But it will be
I
blending the
know.
mediums together.
Together. I know. I was going to tell you. I was going to ask you much about that later on. The idea that so many things happening at Shaw for the fall.
Yeah.
But first of all, let's get to you guys. I mean, you guys have been on TV for so long. The longevity must have a lot to do with the fact that, you know, you guys have known each other for so long from your early days at Breakfast Television.
Yes.
Now, tell us, how much further back do you guys go? And I think there's actually a funny story to
There
this.
is a funny
in
story.
terms of how you guys actually met. Please.
Ensenada fritada.
Yes, that's
Ensenada
what it is.
fritada.
I actually told this story at Mike's wedding as I was toasting the groom because I had, Mike and I auditioned for the show in its early stages. It was called Daytime. And it was cattle calls. There were tons of people, male and female, auditioned together. And Mike and I never auditioned together, but we ended up getting the job because the producer in charge thought we'd have good chemistry, and thank God he was right.
Well, I thought we would like each other, but also kind of hate each other.
Hate each other just enough to
Just
be
enough.
entertaining.
Yeah, just enough to be good.
But when I
Just
met
friction.
Michael the first day we were there, I realized I had met him before because we were at a brunch, a Sunday brunch with a
love
bunch of
this
people
story.
getting together at a local spot. There was probably about 20 people at the table, and we had mutual friends. And there was a guy at the end of the table who didn't talk to anyone, but every now and again he would just yell, "Ensenada fritada."
It was Ensenada Fritada. The place in California, they had this thing on the menu called Ensenada Fritada, and I just loved the alliteration. I loved the way it sounded, and I was super hungover. So
But
I
that's
couldn't.
all he said for 2 hours of brunch.
I couldn't
where
actually
everybody was
engage
talking.
in conversation.
You decided not to engage the people
No.
around you, but you decided to kind of just shout at
And when
them.
I met him, I was
Don't
like, oh my
shout
God,
at them.
it's the annoying Ensenada Frittata guy. And here we are.
I wish that story made me sound better and less irritating. But I actually remember that day, and I remember in my mind going, God, I'm being irritating right now. But you know when you're so hungover, you don't really care? That was me.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I always say Mike's the brother I never wanted.
No, and it's exactly.
sweaty being
you know,
interviewed.
It's funny that you guys say that actually. For those who actually don't know what it's like for a taping around here, all of the crew around here can barely keep a straight face. Did Funny always come? You know, really.
I take that as a huge compliment because no.
Well, and,
you guys
but there
class
was a certain thing, like there was a chemistry when we worked together that I think we both knew, but I do think, like Fee hit on it, she didn't have any brothers, I didn't have any sisters, and yet she's like a little boy. She has the humor.
I look like
get
one
to
too.
that.
She has the sense of humor of a 14-year-old boy, and so it's kind of fun because I have the fashion sense of a 16-year-old girl. So it all, we can find things that kind of mesh, right?
It
As
just
we go.
works very well, like absolutely. And journalism, I was going to say, journalism was not your first
Or my
career.
forte, which is why I'm here.
The fact that the word journalism got brought up in this interview.
No, I
You
wasn't.
are an amazing journalist reporter, so don't even sell yourself short. But journalism was really not your first career
No,
choice.
no.
It was actually, you were supposed to follow in your father's career choice. He was a very well-known Vancouver lawyer.
That's right.
And the idea, you were supposed to go to journalism school just as a way to kind of get over your fears of speaking.
It's true. I was not the class clown. I actually couldn't talk in front of the classroom, which was a big problem for me. I was the shyest kid you could ever meet my entire life. I had the railroad track braces. I had the headgear. I was the nerd. I kind of looked like a boy, and my sister would always introduce me as her little brother, and then I wouldn't say anything because I'd be mortified. This went on for years. This was actually only 2 years ago. No, I'm kidding.
She still refers to it as.
But I was going to go to law school because my dad was a lawyer, and I really was always interested in what he did. And he sat me down one day and he said, listen, if you can't get over your fear of speaking in public, you're never going to be a good lawyer because you do realize, Fiona, because he was a realist, you do have to speak in front of people in a courtroom. And I was thinking, yeah, then there's that. So he kind of dared me to go, he told me, you know, taking a broadcasting course would be a great idea. And the first day of the broadcasting class that I took, there was an audition posted, and my dad said, he dared me and he said, go do that audition. Auditions are the worst case of fears aside from public speaking that anyone will ever have. So go do it, you'll get over your fears. And it was just really to face my fears, and a week later I was on live TV. And I got the job.
How incredible was that
And then
for
a
a
couple
kid
years
who-
later it was an audition for this show.
And there we go. I was a massive megalomaniac, so I just.
Journalism your first choice
I assumed
at all?
I would be good at anything that I did. So no, it wasn't. I was in construction for a long time. But my big brother's in radio, and I have an uncle that works in the media as well. But they were all they're news guys, right? They're actual journalists. Whereas I didn't really see myself fitting in that, and I wasn't sure what. I was the class clown. I was that typical kid that probably everybody knows.
You'd never
that
guess,
they
right?
think, yeah, he's going to be in prison fairly soon, probably sooner rather than later. And I sort of took to it later, and I gave it a try and just kept going. I really enjoyed it. Like the first time that I tried to do it, I was absolutely horrible. And I love a challenge, and I love trying to get better at stuff. And I liked it. And I'm a megalomaniac. So.
Still.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, we love
Still.
you. But just
Small man, big head.
Well, let's go back a little bit to, you know, your background. Just to talk about your father right there. Fiona, you have very strong Irish heritage. In fact, so do you, but you have a
Little bit,
mix
yeah,
of
I'm a couple-
mix of Scottish in yours, I believe.
Yeah.
But you
Everyone
have
wants a little Scottish in them. Mike's got a lot.
but you have, both parents are Irish. How
Yeah.
important are your heritages to you both?
Her important, me.
It was huge for me because my mom is first generation Canadian, and my dad was born in Montreal. I have a Scottish grandfather, but
your
previous
dad's
to that, it was
parents.
all Irish. But yeah, it was huge growing up. The Irish community of everyone who immigrated here they all stuck together. And it's funny because I'm still friends with the people I did Irish dancing with when I was a kid, and then we've always stuck together. It's just a funny thing, but it was huge growing up. I mean, my dad taught us Gaelic, which I can't remember a word.
I was going to ask if you could.
No, Slán Lot.
Can you
I think
conjugate
I might have
the-
just sworn at you or said
Sworn at
hello.
you.
I don't know.
What's that one verb that you're good at conjugating?
Oh,
Which one's that? It starts with an F and sounds like
yeah,
foot,
yeah,
sort of.
yeah.
Well, Mike,
Yes.
your family actually, I believe there's a place named after the Eckford somewhere in Alberta.
Yeah. My in Alberta, Eckville, Alberta. Go Eckville. It's a little place just south of Red Deer, and Melissa Hollingsworth, who was in the Olympic Games, and unfortunately didn't get a medal, even though that was sort of the expectation. She grew up on Eckford Street in Eckville, so that was my my mother's side, and so we're sort of, we're Canadian through and through, and sort of away we go. But yeah, if you ever go to
Love that.
Eckville, tell them I sent you. They'll be like, who?
You guys have an amazing dynamic, and what we love about the show, and when we watch, especially Fiona, how fearless you are. There's a lot of real girls out there who are going to love you. The fact that, you get away with saying a lot of things that a lot of us, ordinarily, say every day. But knowing that, a lot of people would be like, oh my God, why are you saying that? Knowing that you can drink the boys under the table, or,
No.
or, you could just come out and say whatever's on your mind. Like, girls out there everywhere
Really
are
am a
rooting for
14-year-old
you.
boy. Thank you.
Are rooting for you. Just kind of talking very quickly on Friends. Fiona, now you have a very famous BFF.
I do.
Just recently, we learned that one of your famous BFFs, Real Housewives of Vancouver, Mary Zilber, not too long ago. In fact, you were on an episode of that show.
Oh, let's not talk about it.
Now, I think the question that a lot of people at home would love me to ask you is the fact that, was all of that real? And had you ever met that woman? Because you actually,
I've still never met her.
you actually came under fire from that, Jody woman.
Really quick, because I know they're asking us to wrap it up. But I will tell you that show is not scripted. There are scripted scenarios where they'll tell the girls where to be, and they have to be at certain places, because
Right.
obviously there's an entire TV crew that is going to be there to film it. But other than that, it's not scripted. It's all very real.
I think there was a lot
And
of...
yes, I was terrified of her.
I'm in season 2 as the megalomaniac.
Well, we need you to
Mike
maybe be
is
the
the-
other housewife.
No.
No, he is. He is
Yeah.
coming up in season 2. Michael Eckford is going to be at the end, just be like, bam.
Yeah, Cabana Boy / Ferret.
Well,
That'll be
we
my
wanted
title.
also to mention, Michael, you have 2 adorable, beautiful
I have
boys.
3. Yeah, I have 2 boys and a
one
daughter.
girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
she's amazing. She's a gymnast.
Yeah.
Are you always like, are you on when you're at home? What kind of daddy are you?
Well, I think there would be probably not a lot of debate about that. I'm pretty much the same at home. People ask my wife all the time,
the
is he like
disciplinarian?
that? That's the most common
Who's
question
a
she gets.
disciplinarian?
What's
in the-
that?
Who's a disciplinarian in the house?
It's not needed, really. I mean, I am
No,
and
you
I'm
do
not.
it. You do it to me sometimes. Whenever.
Yeah, I have dad voice.
Dad voice,
Ready?
because his.
Yeah, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, please. Because
Okay,
whenever
normally I'd
I'm
be
being
like,
annoying, I'm not paying attention.
Hey, Fiona. Fiona.
When
come
I
on.
get the double clap,
Seriously.
I'm like, yeah.
Fiona, let's go.
All right, just before we wrap, it would be not great to not mention one of the most important boys in Fiona's life, her little dog, Chewy.
Chewbacca. He's not here today. I'm so sorry.
No,
He was
I
taking
know.
over the. Yeah, he is. He's the best.
We love Chewbacca. He's your favorite guy. Like, how long have you had Chewbacca for?
I've had him since March, I guess, and it's so funny because Chewy gets recognized on the street. I don't.
He's got
He
Twitter
does.
followers.
He does.
How many Twitter followers does he have too?
Couple, Hundy. No.
Well, we love everything that you guys are doing, and we'll keep an eye out for you, and we will stay tuned each week for the show. Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you.
Thanks.
Well, you can catch Mike and Fiona on Urban Rush Monday to Friday, and you can catch Mike co-hosting each week from 6 a.m. on the Brodrake Morning Show on Rock 101 FM. Well, that's our show. I'm Lola Akala for Shaw TV signing off. Thanks for watching. See you next time. You guys are naughty.